Hi everyone, it's Lela and Joyce. We're back again, and today we are tackling her kids' bathroom. You can see that it is tight quarters. We are going to start in here with obvious trash, and then we're going to take some stuff out to the dining room table and try to sort and declutter there. But I brought a couple of organization items, plus she has some bins ready to go. But we are excited to have you back.
Yes, I'm excited to be back.
And she is fighting through, not feeling well with a little headache. So y'all cheer her on as usual. And I love her tenacity and toughness. And we're just excited to keep making progress on her house. Anything to add?
I think that's it. I'm ready to go.
So her daughter's getting ready to go off to college. So taking inventory, this might be a good thing too, to see what inventory she wants to take with her.
I think it is.
All right, well, let's do it. So I think we're going to start first with the trash bag, and let's just look in these drawers and baskets first.
Okay, well, there's one, oh no, I guess I threw it away. There was something over there that I've been dying to throw away.
And I'm going to get this off of here real quick. Oh, we have, do you want to close the,
yeah.
in case we drop something in there.
I'm going to close that, and I'm actually going to get this towel and dry this
These
counter off.
Ooh, this smells good.
You know, you can't find trash bags that don't smell.
Oh.
Or I can't. They all...
Well, and it's probably not good for us, but I like it anyway.
Yeah, it does help when the trash is like stinky and stuff.
Yeah, yes.
I'm gonna take, these scissors don't belong in here, and I feel like they're just gonna be an accident waiting to happen.
Can this go in the trash, I'm thinking?
Yes.
Okay. I think we're gonna start with this vanity, and again, we're looking for obvious trash first. And let's start with the drawers, and then we'll pull up the basket.
Okay. So here's a question that I have for you, kind of for my own, but also for anyone as they try to get started. Like, these drawers are really small, and so I feel like to see if there's any trash in there, I kind of need to just pull everything out. Does that?
Yeah, makes total sense. I think we can make an exception for this trash, just because, like you said, it is so small. I'm going to do the same thing over here. There's a hair thing. Okay, and I don't want to sort, I just want to look for trash. I don't see any obvious trash in here, so we'll come back to this. But you know what we can do? Is go ahead and, you want to go ahead and dump the contents into a bin?
Just like not sort, but just get it.
That's what I'm thinking. I do think it makes sense for one of these to be toothbrush, toothpaste. So if you want to leave any of that in here, I think that makes total sense.
Okay. So Joyce, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like for this bathroom. Like I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
And so there's 2 drawers. So do you think it's better to do like toothbrushes in one, combs in the other? Or would you do like one drawer for one kid and one drawer for the other that can trash?
I think I would keep them separate to keep the peace.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you think that makes sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So that can probably go in here.
This looks like a toothbrush charger.
Yes.
Do you feel like labels would help the kids or no?
Honestly, not really. I don't. I think once we kind of get things. Once we kind of get things like cleaned out and the trash cleaned out, you know, I think that they will have their like. Well, and then on top of it, my daughter won't be here.
Can I trash that?
Yes. So I think the drawers are empty.
The drawers are empty.
I probably at some point need to bring the vacuum in because like
I think we'll wipe and do all of that. Yep. Okay.
So down here there's no. Okay, this you're gonna laugh.
Let me move this down.
You know how I have all sorts of things, right? My son likes to read. So this is his
Reading lamp.
reading lamp.
In the bathroom.
Not sure why he needs the reading lamp in the bathroom, but
Trash.
yes, this is what one thing he's done. Okay.
Can we trash that too?
Yes. I feel like pretty much.
I'm gonna pull the tag off of this.
So this was my husband's,
Oh my gosh.
but it's broken, and you can see how long it's been since they've used it.
Do you wanna ask them?
Probably.
Let's ask.
Okay, so I feel like, well, this is a skewer from my kitchen, and that's a toy that could go in the trash.
Who doesn't have skewers from their kitchen in the bathroom?
Right.
It's for cleaning out the sink, like hair built up or something, maybe?
I think, so this, we actually need a new doorknob. I'm gonna find out all the secrets of my house, because for some reason, this door like easily gets locked.
Okay.
And I think at some point someone had gotten this thinking, and it does, like we have all the tools that fit in there to unlock it. But instead of taking it back to the kitchen after they unlocked it, they brought it in here and it ended up in the basket getting put away.
Okay.
So,
Okay, you got another basket back here.
I mean, this is how long it's been since I've cleaned out my bathroom. Okay, so this needs to be wiped. I'm gonna do this once.
Those are pads. And this is a lot of toys and
That can go in the trash.
okay, so this is all toys stuff.
So let's just put
that one in with this
yeah,
one?
let's put that one in with this one.
Okay.
We'll determine if it needs. We're not in the bath toy stage anymore, so I'm not sure we need to keep it. So this is like a rod to help clean like higher up things, but I don't have the attachment that goes with it anymore.
Okay.
And I don't really know where it came from to get another one. There's another toy of my husband's.
So this is the stuff you think is all expired and
I
old
do.
and
I
trash.
just think this is all expired old stuff that I'm not sure it's worth.
Okay.
I mean, can these be washed? They're kind of all
yeah, I would
like
I would
stretched
let
out.
it go. Yeah, I would let that one go.
And I feel like these have probably been in here a very long time. So
Okay.
They're
All right.
probably already.
We're making progress down here. So I'm going to dig that rest of that stuff out. Okay, I'm going to carry, while you do that, I'm going to carry this stuff into the dining room.
Okay.
Hi, it's VoiceOver Joyce. I want to mention, and you'll hear us talk about it, that later in the video, Lela's going to take us through areas of her home that we have addressed before and give us their current state and how they've gotten to that state and how they're still better than they were before. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
We've gotten this cleaned out and I'm so excited. Like, it's great to jump in. I was kind of thinking about it before you came and knowing we were going to do this bathroom, and we kind of need to do a little bit of a refresh on this bathroom anyway, but I didn't really want to do it till we cleaned it out. And just a couple of things I thought I'd share with people, you know, as they're watching, thinking about their own projects, is that this vanity, and I think you showed in a little, like it's got this shelf underneath, was a great place when my kids were little to have a little bin and shove their toys under there.
Yeah.
Once they dried and stuff, so they weren't always in the bathtub. But as you can see from cleaning out, my kids are in high school and college, and the toys they played with 15 years ago were still under there with 15 years worth of dust. And so my goal is to keep that shelf underneath cleared out.
Would you put something like beach towels or other towels down there because it's more bulky?
Maybe. Here's my concern that you can help me think through, is that they're just going to get covered in dust again.
Okay.
Like, I'm just worried that things will get under there and forgotten. So I think that as I'm thinking through it and as I've been like clearing the clutter in my head as we've cleared the clutter in my house, is that I'm trying to reduce where dust can collect in our house, and that's been a big problem for us because we've had so much stuff.
I'm also thinking, because you do have an older ranch style home, you have limited closet space.
Yes.
So that's a shelf that could be utilitarian.
Could
it be toilet paper storage?
As you were saying that, and I'm thinking out loud, like I have seen, like baskets with lids. Because it's open, I kind of like it to be something that's pretty as you're walking in, because this is also the bathroom that my guests use when we have guests, theoretically. Maybe a basket with a lid that I could put toilet paper and like paper hand towels and that sort of thing. But I would like it, I want to find just the right thing. So we can use something that I have temporarily, but I want to find a basket with a lid or something that I can put under there so that it doesn't get all covered in dust like the toys.
Sure.
And then I'm going to just have to build it into my cleaning routine to pull things out. And I do have a housekeeper once a week, but that's the sort of thing that I'm not going to ask her to do. Like that'll be my Saturday or Sunday or one evening task, like to just come in here and straighten up and like dust the basket off or whatever. But some like stuff like toilet paper, extra paper hand towels, something like that. I mean, I think ideally as we move into the cabinets, I'm hoping to reduce so much stuff that maybe we don't even really need it.
Love it.
I do have, like over here on the side by the toilet, I did keep like a little canister of disinfectant wipes because I am trying to get in the mode of teaching my kiddo
a quick wipe.
Help do a quick wipe of his bathroom and help me keep it straightened for when someone does stop by.
Sure.
So I have those tucked under here and something like that, but it's like just tucked in the corner. I think that before we plan to put anything under there, I'd like to see how much we get done over here, because I have a feeling there's a whole lot of real estate over there that we're not going to need.
Okay.
And we may redistribute, because I have even less storage in my bathroom because we don't have built-in cabinets. Never got around when we added it on. And so I'm not opposed to doing something like that, but that's going to be kind of a last minute thing because I'm afraid it'll get forgotten and dusty.
Sure.
And that sort of thing.
Okay. Sounds good. What about this basket back here? Do we need to take some of that to the...
Yeah, we can just take the whole thing.
Okay. So can this whole thing go to the dining room?
Yes. So this bottom cabinet, just real quick, is all my cleaning supplies.
Right.
And so I'm inclined to we may clean that up, but it's mostly what my housekeeper uses. And when I need to do something, I know where everything, this is where it is for the whole house. So I'm kind of inclined to not even touch that. There's probably some stuff we could throw away out of there, but not a lot. So I'm inclined to not pull everything out of there and take it to the kitchen or to the dining table.
Yeah.
Like when we're ready to tackle that, I think I can sit down on the floor and we can tackle it and sort it.
Okay.
But these other two cabinets above it are kind of a bottomless pit of things that...
Okay, let's start with the top. And we were pulling out trash first, but I don't know that there's a lot of trash up there. I don't think there's
a lot of trash up there.
So what I will ask you is, do you know if all of the linens are keepers or any of those declutter?
It's probably worth decluttering it a little bit.
Okay, if it's something you think you can decide, let's pull that stuff out instead of trash for this, because this isn't really a trashy one, right? It goes way up there. So you have a warm steam vaporizer, and then you have this one. Are both of those keepers?
So I would like to get rid of the warm steam one because
That one up there?
yeah. So I will probably send the smaller of the ones with her to school because
Okay.
she does get
Okay.
really congested, and that's probably smaller than the other one. So that would be a good one for her to take to school.
Okay. Does this hold?
It holds headphones. There's no rhyme or reason why it's in the bathroom.
Okay. Okay. So we'll have to get a step stool for that. That one says heating pad, so it's marked. And then there's, what is this Ray drop?
So I think I'm gonna probably have to get that down. That is probably either a humidifier or you'd use with essential oils.
Oh, yeah.
Diffuser?
Yeah. Diffuser is that one right there.
But because it's been up there, so like I would like to get to a point, unless you have a suggestion, that like nothing is on that shelf, because one,
It's hard to get to.
I can't reach it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't reach it, and I for sure can't reach it. I forget what's there, and like I said, I'm really trying to get down to what we don't need.
Yeah.
So
If you don't pile too much stuff up, then you would be able to see it. I guess my question is there think about other areas like in your laundry room, you know, you put your suitcases and stuff like that, or those blankets. That's also a narrower shelf. So it's going to be hard to put stuff up there anyway.
So, like, I have those extra quilts that I haven't gotten rid of yet and I'm not ready to let go of. So I could, like, put those up there or something. I'm trying to figure out what that right there. Oh. So, like, this is for sure to get rid of.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to need a step stool to reach back there anyway.
There, I
Okay.
can get that.
All right. We'll be back.
So we're thinking through this cabinet again and the up high one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to put the camera back up there or not, but we have a lot that we gathered in another space of like a neck massager, a massage gun, things that my son uses a lot after a lot of sports and stuff. And I'm just thinking that this top shelf would probably be a really good place to collect all of that with the chargers and stuff.
Yeah.
So that then I can start building in him. He's going to be a freshman, and I've got 4 years to teach him how to keep things together and put them back in their place. And so I would love to designate this for like heating pads.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Medical equipment or, you know, whatever.
I do recommend a basket so he can grab the whole thing instead of having them individually.
That's fine. And
yeah.
he could probably reach that, but I'd love to put it lower where I can reach it to when I need it.
Perfect. Okay.
Um,
Let's go get, I'll carry this other stuff into the dining room and you'll get a step stool to pull that stuff down.
Perfect.
Okay. And just look for obvious trash in this next cabinet.
Okay.
And then we will head to the dining room.
Okay. So, Joyce,
Yes.
you had told me in this new cabinet that we're getting into to look for obvious trash.
Yes.
And I don't think that there's a lot because I think this has actually been cleaned out.
Okay.
It's just stuff that needs to be like organized, and I probably need to have the kids look through it and see if they can determine if I can sort it him and her, then I would like to do that.
Okay.
So there's probably stuff in here that has
Medical.
expiration dates,
Okay.
but it's not going to be like super obvious trash.
Okay, then you're wanting them to go through all this?
Well, yes and no. I would like to pull it all out, and I would like to figure out if there is expired things. Let's throw them away. Most of it I can probably sort. It's his or hers.
Right.
and then have them come and go through, like do one bin for him, one bin for her kind of thing.
I was just wondering if this will fit in here. It will. Okay. So we could do one bin, yeah, for each.
And then there's also probably like a round of first aid stuff. And that's another thing is that like I'd love to have a bin or a basket that has Band-Aids.
You have that 3-drawer cabinet I pulled out
Yes.
too, and we can put labels on that.
Yes.
And so we can maybe do
So
that.
this cabinet in here is going to be like overflow
community
of products and community. Less her because she's leaving, but I still want some, her to have stuff when she comes home.
Okay.
And then more his stuff. And then
That's our college girl.
Hi guys.
Precious angel baby. That's what she is.
Sometimes.
So let's then go ahead and not look for trash. Let's just go pull it out, put it on the dining room table, and we will shift over to there. We'll be back. So she decided to do a pre-sort between her 2 kids and then hand soaps down below. And if there's anything that's almost empty, she's going ahead and trashing that. And we're going to take it all to the dining room to go ahead and do the final kind of organization and sort. While we are at it, I'm going to jump in here and say that today is part of the Helping Hands Alliance. And with that, I collaborate with Cammie Hill from American Wife and Guy from A Guy in His Junk. And once a month, we offer our services to help very deserving people. And today's video is part of that collaboration. If you have not subscribed to their channel, you'll see them below and I'll link them in my description. All right, let's keep going.
I can go ahead and sort that. What is that?
Hinge dish soap. This looks like it's for travel.
It is.
Do you want that?
This is another one. Let's put that in here for the moment. Okay. Does hand lotion expire?
It doesn't have an expiration date. So I think that's the other thing is there are some duplicates and we can create an inventory of backup. So if you wanted to shop your backup first,
Yes.
then before going and shopping or adding it.
Okay. This I know we can get rid of.
Okay.
Trash. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Expired.
I would think so.
Here.
If you want to look through this, my guess is that everything in here is expired.
Yeah, 325. 325. So they're probably all around the same time.
Yes.
Okay. I had to do this too. I had to let a lot of sunscreen go. At 2024. 2019.
Yes.
Winner.
This can be trashed.
Okay. Ooh, you almost have one shelf done. Okay, so while you're doing that, on my drive here, so it's about a 2-hour drive, I was thinking about my dad and the corny jokes he would tell. And so this is your intermission joke while she continues behind this cabinet door. He asks the question, what do they call a wheelbarrow in France?
I have no idea.
They don't call them, they push them like we do. He was so cute.
He was cute.
He was cute. You are moving and grooving. Okay, here is progress.
Apparently I have 3 bottles.
2020. 2022. It is not uncommon for people to have expired medication. So if it's not something you have looked at recently, maybe this is your hint to go and check your expiration dates out as well. Now, I do have a video where I went through mine, and mine was quite interesting because I had probably 20 to 30 times what Lela has, if not more. So I will try to link my video when I went through that in the description below. It is an older video of mine, so if you haven't seen that, hopefully you'll go over and see that and have a few laughs with me while doing so. So I'm just so grateful that Lela is continuing this journey and that she's continuing to be vulnerable and show y'all her spaces as well as spaces that we have visited before. And here shortly we're going to be moving into the dining room where her daughter's going to join us on camera and start sorting or agreeing to let go of some things. So we have moved now to the dining room, and her daughter is holding this microphone because I only have 2 microphones now, one for her mom and one for myself. And I am doing a voiceover because it was kind of on a vibration setting, hers was, and it probably is not going to be that enjoyable for y'all to listen to at length. So you'll hear a few snippets of it, but not a ton of it. And so her mom's just quizzing her on some things here.
You're a funny kid.
So do you want to be on video, or you want me to like cut you out?
I'm chilling. I'm good.
You're good? Woo-woo!
Everything.
You have one eyelash on? And this is why I love you, because you don't care.
That is one way to put it.
Can you see expiration date on there?
05/24.
Can you throw that in the trash in this too?
I'm taking this to college with me.
Good.
I will either make a lot of friends or a lot of enemies.
This is still good, and it is like first aid-ish.
Okay, you can find them on Amazon.
2022.
This would be
2023. This is not uncommon. This is like everybody. 2025. I have known sweet Maya since she was a baby, and it's so exciting to see her get ready to go off to college. I'm thrilled for her.
Are you going to use either of these?
Yes, those are for my boots.
Watch.
Yes.
Okay, can you identify anything in here that you want to keep?
Nail files.
Is this one yours?
That's first. That's all.
Okay, Maya, so does this straightener work?
It works. It's just kind of crappy, but I kept it like so.
I have one, so I'm going to chuck it. I don't think we need
I
it.
mean, it's 6.
At some point, I'm going to want you to go through this bin over here.
Do you want this out of here, kept in here?
I don't need it kept in there. I'm more inclined to use something like that, unless you tell me otherwise. On the bottom, and I know like Band-Aids don't, but it might have a date.
2019?
And the Band-Aids I'm inclined to keep.
Yeah.
Like the medication and stuff,
Right.
not so much. So this one is Maya's, and it's been gone through.
Okay. So I'll just make a label for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to donate this box?
Sure.
Okay. Or you don't think you'll use it?
No.
Okay. So far, this top bin only has cough drops. So if there's other medical stuff we can throw in there. The middle bin only has bandages, and then this I kept with, as with gauze. The
Okay.
bigger gauze and tape stuff.
Okay.
So, and then female items for the last one.
Perfect.
Now you have
Let's put that in here with this.
Okay. Do you think this one works still? You want to check?
My guess is that they do. Yeah.
Do you want to send one of these with her?
Yes.
Do you care which one?
I'll do this one.
Okay.
That's my favorite. Okay. So I'm gonna just put it in here for now.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go get my label maker and make labels for these 5 things.
Okay.
I like to deal with bulky. So do you want to talk through the sheets and stuff first?
Okay.
Like maybe pull what's going to go back in the cabinet and what else is going where.
So actually, if there's a place, sorry, I'm jumping around.
That's okay.
This, and there was another one that was clear plastic. So this is a cast cover, and there was another one that was just clear plastic.
It might be under
It might be under something. I don't know if there's room to put this, like, I don't know if there's room. But if there was,
it's a very specialty, so I think it can stay with your medical, but maybe go into something that's not used frequently, like the gauze.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Perfect.
When we come, no, that's on it. When we come across it, there's another like clear one. I would like to hang on to those because they weren't easy to find.
Let me go get my label maker. And
so most of these sheets are parts and pieces that probably will just be, I still have my pile for the ranch that's like growing. So I will probably just try to work my way through this for the ranch and then I need to bag them up so that they get taken to the ranch.
so are all of those keepers? And the reason I ask is because if they're sets,
So far this over here is nothing is sets.
Okay.
It's primarily like there's one bottom gray sheet, and I'm thinking that in my other ranch pile that is still in my room, I probably have the top sheet.
oh, gotcha.
And then it's actually mostly white. This is mostly a whole bunch of pillowcases.
Okay.
So on that note, like, would you, like, it's just pillowcases. So do
you need that many?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Then cull out what you think you want to cull out.
And we can just donate them?
Yes.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Okay. I've taken the bins for your kids to the other room and the medical stuff. I did start I found that clear thing you were looking for, the cast thing.
Yes.
And then this one could be a medicinal
Okay.
for the tall bottles
Yes.
that are standing up. What are we doing with the linens?
So these are to donate.
Nice.
So
Wow.
this pile is to donate.
Okay. I can take those with me.
These and these, I'm gonna check and match these pillowcases and this set of flannel sheets we use during the winter when we go to the ranch.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep these and take them back to my room where I still have the
other
ranch
ranch stuff. Okay.
that I'm hoping to work on soon.
Which, as a little side note, one of the things you asked is that for me to come back on another day that we pre-designate to look at systems that aren't working or areas that we've cleaned before. And so we will plan on doing that.
Yes, I would love to do that. I have a lot of thoughts, and I won't go down that rabbit hole without
Yeah.
direction.
I just want to mention it because you're mentioning you still have stuff for the ranch in your bedroom.
I do. I will just say this without going into all of that, because one, I'm kind of giving myself permission, but two,
Yeah.
to just share with people who are, wanting to get started like I am, is that like, and maybe you can do this at the end of our day today, like we can kind of look around and see, because there are definitely areas that have stayed, and then there are areas that look like they've gone all the way back, but they haven't gone all the way back. It's just as I work in one area and move stuff around, it's still there.
Yeah.
And it's summer, and we haven't been home much, and so my weekends when I usually do it,
Yeah.
have not been used to do it and stuff. And so there are things that need to just be moved out and things that do need to be revisited. So
It's progress, not perfection.
yes,
And
my favorite phrase.
when you think about all of the stuff that has left, and right now I think we're working on a third trash bag, so there is stuff leaving, and we'll revisit, but we're still doing first pass in some areas, and that's okay. So that will be upcoming, and like she said, we'll give you a little sneak peek into that.
Okay, so with that said, I'm kind of looking over here, and I see that there.
Mm-hmm.
And I see some things on here that I kind of need to deal with. I feel like those two blue baskets there, like I'm wondering if we could just consolidate them
Sure.
into this clear one.
I think so.
Um,
So it's extra lotions and some of this is travel, so do you want to relocate it to your travel drawer that's in your laundry room? Like this?
Oh, yes.
And these?
That would be a great idea.
Yeah. So do you want to go ahead and take
I'll take those.
And then I'll merge this stuff over.
Well, I guess I'll leave that in here.
Or you
just
could,
in case.
we could have just had you take the basket.
That's okay, because then I'll leave the basket back there, and it doesn't belong back there, so.
They say work harder. No, they may say work smarter, not harder, and I never claimed that was smart. Okay, so this is like hand soaps and things like that, and bath bar soaps. So all of this should, okay, I'll put that into medical, and we'll see what she wants to do with that. Okay. So these jars,
Can go in the kitchen.
okay,
They don't really belong. I don't know why they were in there.
okay. Do you have any medical anywhere else that you want to put into this?
I don't think
Because
so.
yeah, I know you have some medical stuff like aspirin and stuff that we put in, your vanity area in the drawer because you didn't have a medicine cabinet.
Yes.
Do you want to relocate them?
Yes.
Okay.
I go get that now.
Yeah, you can take this with you, but I was also going to say, what do you want this labeled? Because this is your hand soaps, your extra lotion, bath soaps. Do you want it just labeled soaps and lotion or backup items?
Guess what I just found?
More soaps and lotion. What would make sense to you? So it doesn't become a catch-all, but just so you know your inventory.
I would just do soaps and lotions.
Okay. Soaps, lotions, and extras?
Yes.
Okay.
If I look at it, it'll make sense to me.
Okay.
But I am trying to teach a 14-year-old boy to look and figure out where something is. And so I'm trying to think, like you asked me what label would make sense to me. And for me, if I just look at the bin, I know what's going to be in it, right? Like
Right.
I don't need to read the label for it to make sense to me, but I want it to make sense
Right.
to him because I'm trying to really and I have to say everyone has appreciated everything that we've done, but the one who has appreciated it maybe almost as much as me maybe more than me, is my son.
Yeah.
Like,
Yay.
he just, if he doesn't have something going on, he's like, Mom, I cleaned out my caps. I have these 5 caps to get rid of. And like, he'll just bring me something that he's gone through or something. So
Love it.
So he's loving it. I think lotions, soaps, and extras is
Okay.
a great
Label.
label for this.
To go get your medical, do you think this is big enough, or do you need one of these to go grab?
I'll take the blue one just because this one's not as sturdy. Like,
Okay.
I don't think it's that much. This one's
Okay.
sturdier.
We'll be back. Is there anything in that turning kitchen one that you would want to transfer?
Probably.
Okay. You talk about needing systems in place and having it all. You can send them. They know where it is. All consolidated. I'm going to go move this one back into there. Do you think there's anything to add to this one, or are we good?
No, I think we're good on that
Okay.
one.
What about these that are in here?
These are trash.
Okay. Got it. Another day in the books. We had high aspirations for more spaces, but that's me. I always think it's going to go faster than it does, but we got this bathroom done,
Yes, we did.
and I think it looks good, so I will show y'all the after. And there is this cabinet is super deep, and so even though it looks full, there is empty space behind. There's also an empty shelf that will be for the towels
Yes.
to come into, and so it is in a lot better condition. And yeah, I think you did good. We have a couple of bags of trash. We have a big bag of donations. So there's a lot that left here.
Yeah, I feel like I feel really good about it. It's organized. I know what's in here. The kids will soon know what's in here.
How's your head? Is it better?
It is better.
See,
It is.
we worked through it and it disappeared.
It did.
I'm sure maybe Tylenol might have helped or something.
A little bit.
Okay, so we are going to take you on a quick little walkabout, and Leela's going to talk through what her desires are for the future, for things that aren't working or areas that have gotten maybe back to the way they were, but not truly back to the way they were.
Yeah.
But just still need to be revisited or helped some.
Yes.
Okay, let's go do that.
So here's the front living room. We're still kind of dealing with some dumping grounds, as you can see, and it's summer, so my kids are out of school and they're playing golf and going in and out of town, so it's like things just kind of corral here. And this bench is full of stuff that actually is donation, but my daughter got hurt and hasn't been able to help me take it, so hopefully that's a weekend task for me this weekend.
And this on the table is my stuff, the beach towels and the
Some
pink
of it.
bag. Those two.
And then this stuff over here is mostly, some of it is stuff we're getting ready for my daughter to go off to college. And some of it is stuff that we moved out of my son's room when we cleaned his room, which wasn't on the video, but like that's something that Joyce has known that my son and I were doing. So while it looks like it's built back up, it's something that if I just take an hour, maybe 2,
Yeah.
all of this will be cleared and organized really quickly. So while it's not pleasant to sit in all the time, it's not as overwhelming as before Joyce came to help.
And it's real life, right?
It is real life. The dining table is something that we use a lot. We've kept this space clear. This stuff is left over from today, and I'll clean it up after Joyce leaves. This stuff is stuff that is constantly kind of being worked through mail and whatnot, so this stuff will go away really quickly too.
10, 15 minutes. This
Yes.
end of the table is good. And this is stuff that's going to the ranch. This is stuff we just brought in the empty bin. So this normally is clean.
Yes.
So it's not really that bad. And there is another bag of trash on the other side over there.
So the kitchen, which has a little bit of trash from today.
Yeah, this came out of the bathroom, and that what's in it is trash. There's some cardboard recycling, and then we just washed these baskets that came out of the bathroom, and they're just drying, so it's not terrible.
And then the living room has a few things. I've got sports equipment that needs to be cleaned out, like washed and hosed down because he hasn't been using it. Paper towels that need to be put away, trash that needs to be taken out.
This is trash from today, so from the bathroom.
But otherwise, the room has stayed clean, and my son has really enjoyed having it.
It really is. I mean, because that's easy.
That's an air mattress. He had a bunch of friends spend the night not long ago,
Yeah.
and so they pushed the table back and slept on the sofas and the air mattress.
Yeah, so this
And
looks good still.
So this room, he's been using the TV and enjoying it with his friends, and
Awesome.
kind of bouncing between here and his room.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a work in progress, and I am figuring out, what's working, what's not, where I need to tackle, like getting things out permanently.
Yeah.
So I still feel good about it.
Yeah. And I think another day that I come back, we'll tackle her bathroom, but it's this cabinet too that we think will go fairly quickly. And it's some supplies, and she already has some stuff that I think that will go pretty quickly. It's marked stuff that she's just not dealing with, not using a lot, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's kind of stuff that was organized to
Yeah.
like when Joyce and I started this, but it's stuff that like I organized it a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
it hasn't been touched. So probably a lot of it needs to come out, and we get rid of it, and then make the closet function more for what we need it for.
Okay. Okay, so that was her quick little tour. I love that she's sharing her home with you, and that it doesn't have to be perfect. It is still in progress. There are reasons for all of it, and it's stuff, like you said, a little bit of effort, and it will be cleaned up again. I think it will look different too after your daughter moves out.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff will be gone. The donations will be gone. So it is so much better than it was before.
Yeah, it is, and I think there's a piece in my mind where when I walk in, I know what the stuff is. Like if I look at the bench, I know I just need the time to coordinate, where I can load it in my car and drive it to Goodwill.
Yeah.
The stuff over on the table, 30 minutes, that table will be clear.
Yeah.
So it's not like when you came before, I didn't know what was where and what was built up, and I didn't know where to begin. I didn't tackle the dining table because I didn't know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And it could be 30 minutes or it could be 2 hours. I had no idea, and I didn't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
So now,
You know what's
I
there.
know, but it also has allowed me to take the grace a little bit of like, no, we're going to go visit Joyce for the weekend, and I'm not going to worry about not getting anything done. Or we're going to go to my daughter's orientation, and it'll be here when I get back, and I'll tackle it.
Right.
And not stressing about that and being afraid to leave.
Yeah.
So
You've got to take care of yourself, and she's going to school.
Yeah.
And so you've got to seize the moments of spending time with your kids. And so you say the other stuff can wait. It's prioritizing, and you just prioritize time with your kids this summer, and I think that is absolutely okay. I thank you for sharing that with other people, because your home doesn't have to be perfect. I always say when I die, I don't want people to say, oh, she kept a clean house. You lived, you loved, and you laughed, and so that's the better description that I would like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming along this journey. We will be scheduling time again soon, so just stay tuned and look for future episodes. And thanks for welcoming us into your home.
Of course.
All right. I'm going to close like my dad always closed his voicemail messages. Bye for now.
Bye.
I'm gonna. So basically, she is pre-sorting as she's pulling out. If anything's almost empty, she's throwing that away. And then hand soaps and stuff she's putting together. We can still do a final sort in the other room, but it's kind of a quick pre-sort. I did that with my face so huge, so I'm backing you up for a hot minute.